Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video review of the Theatre Box, a wireless Bluetooth 3D speaker that's priced at $280, which is a little bit pricey, but it also has an innovative twist that we haven't seen before. Compared to other Bluetooth speakers, the Theatre Box actually has drivers located on each side of the unit, and this includes the front, the back, the left, and the right, and this emulates the experience of a home theater environment in the size of a small Bluetooth speaker. So you can see on the diagram on the side here, instead of having a traditional environment for your setup, you have just the Theatre Box in the center, and it creates a sweet spot that you can listen to music with in a smaller room or environment. It comes in 4 colors. There's the black, silver, the red, and the blue, and there's also NFC on board for pairing. There's aptX CSR for music. There's that Q3D holography technology. There's also a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, 1 microphone on board for answering calls. There's also a 20-hour battery life, which is actually pretty long and something that's a nice plus. Taking a look at the packaging, you have access inside to the speaker itself. There's also a 3.5mm jack cable, auxiliary cable, if you don't want to use Bluetooth. And finally, there is the AC adapter, which is quite a brick and weighs quite a bit. So if you're carrying this around, this is an extra weight you need to consider. It's a bit unfortunate. And also the port here is a proprietary charging port and not micro USB, which is also a slight downside. Taking a look at the actual Theatre Box, you can see it looks pretty classy and elegant. It's pretty simple in terms of the design, not too flashy either. On the top, you have access to capacitive controls that are backlit, so if I tap on something, it lights up briefly. It's pretty sensitive and corresponds to the NFC port, volume controls, skip track, mute, and also answering or rejecting a call. On the back, you have access to the power on-off switch, a Bluetooth connection key, the charging port, and the auxiliary input. And on the front, you have just the company's logo, and it's a pretty elegant and, again, simple design going on. It doesn't really attract too many fingerprints. It's a little bit hefty for a speaker. It weighs you down a bit, but on the plus side, it's not going to slide around on a surface or a desk, thanks to the addition of some soft touch materials and padding on the very bottom. So the Theatre Box also has a pretty interesting kind of power up and power off sound. I can tap on the volume there. It's going to illuminate and turn on. It's going to automatically pair connected to my phone very quickly. If I tap on the play there for a music track, you can see that the music also will start after a few seconds. Here's adjusting the volume, turning down the volume, skipping tracks, playing pause. So you can definitely hear the bass on this speaker is very powerful. It's potent and it definitely delivers. It's rich. You can really hear a clarity in the music. No matter where you are standing in the room, from the sides, from the tops, you will definitely hear what's going on. I can also tap and hold on the keys directly to lower the volume instead of tapping on it repeatedly. And the speaker definitely thumps and creates a large amount of bass whenever it's sitting on a desk surface. Here we have the power off tone. I'm going to tap on the power key there. The microphone quality on the Theatre Box is good, but it's not noise isolating. So in noisier environments, it's not going to be the best for a speakerphone experience, but as long as you're in a quiet place, such as in the house or maybe in the office, it does a good job. Connection range of the Theatre Box is limited to roughly 10 meters, which is the standard for most Bluetooth devices, but it also depends on the battery life of the Theatre Box. So after you've charged it up and it's completely charged, you can maybe stretch it to 12 meters and still have very good audio quality. But after the charge has been reduced to maybe 50% and you start using it for a few hours, you will find that you need to place this Bluetooth speaker closer to the source of the music. So the size of the speaker, it's a bit large compared to other Bluetooth options out there. For example, this is an August speaker. It's a very small mono speaker, but you get the idea that it's very portable. The Theatre Box is quite a bit larger than that, of course. And if I have something like the Luxotube Groovy W speaker, it has the same design language, but it's also quite a bit smaller, although the audio quality is not nearly as impressive as the Theatre Box is. In fact, I would say that the size and the sound quality is comparable to the Logitech UE Mega Boom in terms of both the proportion and the fact that, you know, the audio quality is rich, commanding, and loud. But with that being said, the portability factor definitely takes a slight hit, but if you do need excellent audio, it's one of the better options. When it comes to the question of whether the Theatre Box can replace an entire home stereo set, I would say that the answer is a bit more mixed. If you are in a smaller environment, I would say that the Theatre Box certainly does do a pretty good job. It convinces your ears that you're listening to a three-dimensional sound source, and again, the speaker itself is incredibly rich and powerful. So again, in smaller environments, it does the trick, and I would say no matter where you are sitting, you will hear a three-dimensional sound. But in larger rooms and environments, I would say that I would prefer a traditional stereo set, especially in the living room if I'm watching television or watching movies in general. At the end of the day, I think that the Theatre Box is an interesting speaker because it combines some technology that we haven't seen before with a compelling design and very strong battery life that lasts about 20 hours. Performance is great, so it definitely justifies the slightly more expensive price tag. To learn more information about this speaker, be sure to read our full review. This has been our video. Thanks for watching. This has been the Stereo Box Bluetooth 3D sounding speaker.